Welcome back to Migratory Game. I had a subscriber reach out to me looking for some help trying to train their dog. They got a black lab, German short-haired pointer, female. It's a mixed dog, which they're two pretty good breeds. I don't know much about the German short-haired pointer, but from what I've looked up and done some research on, they're pretty decent dogs. So we're just going to dive into it. This is going to be a series of videos. I probably won't have enough time to cover it all in one video, but I'm going to give you just a baseline to start at. We're pretty much going to start over with the training with your dog. So what I want you to do in the backyard at your home in a low, just like no distractions, just you and your dog. We want to start back over on doing the leash work, just getting the dog to heel. If the dog wears a collar, you can just clip the leash on the collar. If not, what I prefer with or without a collar though is I got this thin leash and it's pretty flexible. It's not really stiff, but where my hand goes, I run that snap through it, and then that makes a sliding loop. So then I slide that around the dog's neck, and that's how I make the corrections when I tell the dog to sit. So when we're walking the dog on leash on heel, and the dog tries to get past my legs, I pretend my legs, it's a wall. The dog should never cross that line. So I go off my legs. The dog should walk beside me or slightly behind me, never in front of me, and never pulling on the leash. What you want to do if your dog starts to get in front of you, just give it a little, not real hard. They don't have to be real hard. Just a firm little snap on the leash, and then tell the dog to sit. So once the dog starts to get in front of you or pulling on it, you're going to stop, snap the leash, and then say sit. The leash is just giving the dog the correction, and then you want the dog to listen to the command. So make the dog sit down for just a couple seconds, 2 or 3 seconds, and then proceed again. And it helps if you don't walk in a straight line. I try to do zigzag patterns, or I'll do a square, like left turns, and then right turns, and then I'll take a couple steps straight and then turn right, and a couple steps straight and then turn left, and a zigzag pattern, or I just keep it random to keep the dog on its toes instead of just giving it a straight line to just take off pulling. It seems to be easier when you're trying to get the dog to understand what's going on. They start to look at you and kind of take direction from you. When you turn left, you'll want to just slightly bump their head with your leg. Just direct their body that direction. When you turn right, you just kind of give them a little tug on the leash, like, hey, we're going this way. One thing you don't want to do though is you don't want to keep tension between your leash and the dog. You want it to be loose unless you make a correction, and it's just a little correction. You don't have to, like I said, you know, I jerk their head off. So once you get the dog walking pretty good on the leash, it'll take, you know, 3 or 4 days, 5 days, whatever it takes. Take your time with it, but make sure you get that dog listening to you on the leash and staying with you and not pulling. You don't have, you know, hardly any corrections. It's one thing if they see a squirrel or a rabbit or something take off and you correct them. Once that happens, then you're going to start making them sit. So when you tell your dog to sit and you take a few steps, start out just taking 1 step, and then come back and give your dog a treat. And then you're going to do it again. Sit, and then you're going to step back a couple times and then come back and give your dog a treat. And start out slow. If your dog moves when you take 3 steps, well, don't go past 3 steps until you get your dog to sit there. Until you can, you know, you get to 3 steps and your dog don't move, then take another step. As long as your dog's staying put, then you can proceed to get a little longer and a little longer. But keep track of how many steps you take. That way, if you get out to 8 or 9 steps and then your dog starts to get up and you got to go back and put your dog in the exact same spot that they was sitting, then you can go back to, you know, you'll know exactly how far you made it before your dog got up. So first thing I want you to work on is your leash work. Get that under control, and then work on the dog sitting and staying, which sit means stay. If I told the dog to sit there, it shouldn't get up. So I say sit, and it should sit there until I say it's okay, or go play, or, you know, go get your bird. So then you'll go to that, and then once you get your dog sitting there fairly well, then we'll move over to introducing the dog to the bumper. We're not going to throw it though. We're going to start on some force fetching, and then once you get your dog to hold the bumper for you without you having to hold your hand underneath the dog. Now this is going to take several weeks. It might take a week and your dog do good. It might take a month. This right here is going to be a long, drawn out process. So we're going to focus on just getting the dog to hold the bumper, not retrieving it, just holding it. And then hopefully that'll, in a later video, hopefully we can get that to roll over to where the dog will retrieve it and bring it back to you without setting the bumper down.
Good. Good. Hold. Good. Hold. Good. Good girl. Hold. Drop. Good girl, Mia. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Make sure you pick her lips up so she's not biting the bumper with her lip underneath her teeth on the bumper. Make sure you keep her lips curled up. Wedge your fingers in there. Open her mouth. Slide the bumper in. Keep her lips up. Hold. And just keep your hand in the, underneath her chin and on the bumper. Keep their head up. And just keep patting them and you know, praising them. Good dog. Good. Good girl, Mia. Good. 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 Drop. Now this is Mia's first time. So we're gonna do it again. Yep. Pry the mouth open. Slide it in. Make sure it's not underneath their lips. Hold. Good. Hold. Good. You're going to have a little bit of fussing. Good. Good. Don't start out making them hold for a long time, just about 10 seconds. Good. Good girl, Mia. Good girl. Good girl. Now she's calmed down. That's what we'll do. Good job.
Now, as far as getting the dog in the water this season, I think it's too late. You had troubles with it last year. The water temperature is starting to get cold. This is something we're going to have to work on in the spring, and then through the summer and through the fall, and then hopefully by next year you'll have a pretty good hunting dog. So I hope this helps you. Like I said, there's going to be several videos to come. We'll get through this, and then once you think that your dog's doing good, you know, keep me updated. As long as your dog's progressing, then we'll progress with the training. But start out with just leash work, sitting, and then holding the bumper in the backyard, and then we'll progress out into the field. So we're going to do the same commands. We're just going to get out of the backyard.